to Kerbal Space Program. My name is Seth. In the last episode we created our second part of our station and launched it, the habitat module, and we were having some trouble getting it successfully docked. So I did some research and I did some digging around, and I found that there is a setting on the docking port, because it has module manager enabled. There is a setting in there that will allow it to, these docking ports have to be offset by 90 degrees. There's a setting in there to be 100% accurate. Like, you must be, not 100%, it's 99% within tolerance. So if you're talking it's a circle, then you've got to be within 3.6 degrees before it will start to activate the docking port. I did say I moved that to be 75 degrees so that the docking ports would enable well out of the set location of where they'd be, so that when I get them close they start flashing, and then I can just force the two, I can get the two docking ports to align better once they're sort of magnetically aligned. And so I was able to dock the station together. So now we have the Gagarin station set up with the second part, so we can now start looking at sending Kerbals to the station. I did use a massive amount of monopropellant to get to this stage. I used a lot. I had to use Hyper-Edit again to put it back into 110 by 110 orbit. It ended up being well out of that. It was well out. So it is what it is. Just going to line this back up here. Anti-normal. I'm going to rotate it so that doorway is currently out. And so I mean, that's not a bad looking station to start with. What I am going to do though, I just hit the shift key. That's all right. We can ignore that. Just pretend that never happened. What I want to do is grab the monopropellant. I don't need any monopropellant in the craft I'm taking back to Kerbin. There should be enough there should be enough reaction control to allow the craft to get back to Kerbin. Once I fire the engine lock, I don't need any RCS to turn the craft around and return it to Kerbin. That's that, and let's pick up this, and this. Just get rid of all the monopropellant. We don't need any of it on this craft. Again, we used a lot getting this first stage of craft into orbit. Remember, we had to actually finalize the orbit with RCS. And the other thing I did notice is I have disabled the habitat because it was chewing through all the power. We do have 420 electric charge, which isn't a huge amount, but it should do. So if we have a look, okay, so because of that, what we'll do is we will, hopefully this works, decouple that, and you can see there's certainly enough thrust to get that. There's no fuel tanks on there, so I don't need to transfer anything. Okay, so let's turn retrograde. (900 meters per second of delta V). That's quite a lot. So that'll return to Kerbin. So here's our station. That's what it's looking like at the moment. Great. Okay, so let's go back to the Space Center, because now, ultimately, what we would be doing is getting the, I'm going to take notes. Ultimately, what we'd be doing is getting our first couple of Kerbals up into the station and just testing it out, seeing how things function, seeing if it does everything they need, and working out the best way to transport Kerbals to the station. And so we'll let this let the probe, the launcher, crash back down to Kerbin. Interesting to see if it actually makes it through the atmosphere, and I guess if it does, how far we actually get it landed. So far it's not looking good. We can burn a bit to keep the temperature down. And that was about 100 delta V. Oh, the delta V is going down as we go through the atmosphere too, so it's probably not helping it. So I'm interested with this suicide burn. Never been able to successfully do a suicide burn using the numbers on Kerbal Engineer. They just don't seem to, I don't know, they just don't seem to do what I expect. I guess if I look at the distance, that's the altitude that I need to burn at, or is that the distance to when I start my burn? Guessing it's distance until I start my burn. Let's try, we'll give this a go. Because we've got enough delta V, although it's dropping rapidly as the atmosphere increases. But we're real close to having to start it, so 200, 100. Yeah, see, that's not going to work. Yeah, I don't know. But there you go. That may have been a bit loud, sorry about that. I'll just drop that volume down. Okay, so it was 13 minutes, but I guess that, because I had restarted the game to modify, so I guess that lost count there. Just quickly take note of these. And distance traveled. 7 Gs, great. Let's go to the Space Center. because I've got a whole stack of science experiments that I can do, but what I'd really want to do is just get the bare minimum necessary to try to start getting towards the new docking ports, larger docking ports, and the general construction as well. I mean, I can get that now, but that leaves us with no science for any options. The other thing is I need to get the larger docking ports. They're some of the ones I've got now. They're the normal docking ports that I'm used to. Then out to specialized construction, I think there's the non-junior docking ports. And then out to advanced metalwork where we get the... Are they in here? Might be there. Maybe they are here. That gives us the flat adapters, so that, I mean, so it gives us struts. Specialized construction. Huh. What's that? .5, there we go. I mean, I'm a long way from getting the large docking ports, so I think ultimately what our best bet is going to be is to get probably some of these up and running, because what I want to do is get the science bay up so I can start throwing science into the science bay. But I think first things first, we'll let's try lobbing a Kerbal up there and seeing what happens. And this will pretty much be, I reckon, one of the affiliate craft. Ophelia 7. It's one of the ones we used recently. So we'll call this the Ophelia 8. Open up the cargo bays and see what we've got here. Don't need those experiments. I don't need the... Well, I want the monopropellant fuel. I don't think I need the monopropellant fuel cell. Essentially, I only need enough batteries to last a couple of orbits. How much monopropellant's that? 35. Should be enough. We don't have to go far. Get rid of those ones. Don't need much thruster power. We can just use the real ones. Okay, so I guess that's for planes. Okay. Okay. I only need 2 of those because they are the 4-way ones. 5-way, they can do pretty much everything. That should give us plenty of delta V. Now I will throw plenty of food, oxygen, water, and take aquatic sample. Bingo meter. That is. So I think it needs to be on the surface because it's crash and explosion, right? Blood sample, we've done that, and that's not going to help us right now. Cardboard, plant growth experiment, eye sample. Okay. That's too large. Just looking for a real small experiment that we can take. That is ugly. Okay, so there's one. Cracking experiment 1, cracking experiment 2. Let's pop that on the other side here. Okay. And probably we'll leave that. I mean, there are some other stuff. I'm going to get that up there. There is some other stuff, but I don't want to do it all at the moment because I really want to wait till I get the science A up there. So I think that will probably do us for the time being. Let's save that. And launch it. So we'll time warp just a tad. And I think we'll end up getting, let's get a new pilot. Probably a moderate amount of stupid and only a little bit brave. Valerie Kerman. Okay, you are going to be the first Kerbal into our station. Let's time warp to about day 248. Grab the Ophelia 9. 8, sorry. Mallory, beautiful. Launch. We'll try to make this a quick launch. Rendezvous station, Garen. Okay, so it's right on the opposite side of the planet. game we'll do the one orbit rendezvous. So we want to leave when the phase angle's about 311. Enough. SAS on, throttle off, start the engine, throttle up, and light those candles, and away we go. Got to set up action groups, so I can't do the science experiments. Let's give it a go, see if I can clip into the vessel. Throttling down. Yeah, nope. Not going to work for me. Not to worry, I have a feeling that when I get the science bay up there and working, I'll refly quite a few little missions just to fill it up with science to get the data from it. Okay, so now the liquid fuel engine has turned off because all of the thrust being provided by the two SRBs mounted radially. It's quite powerful actually. And 2 seconds left, start throttling up the liquid fuel engines. Separate. And start our turn. That is quite a wild ride into in that first part with the SRBs providing a huge amount of thrust. Okay. I actually forgot to put a battery in here at all. And an antenna. I'll have an antenna. This is going to be an issue. 100 electric charge, we might be okay. I mean that... If I turn off... Yeah, okay. Should have put a battery on there. If I turn off the scrubber and I should be able to conserve a bit of power. The pressure control. Mallory can hide in the suit, which will keep her alive. But from memory, this stage doesn't have... Yeah, the Terrier doesn't have an alternator. So I'm going to get no electric generation from that. So far so good, starting now to increase our apoapsis. It's not bad, we're moving pretty quick. We are now 46,000 meters above the surface of Kerbin, and we're getting plasma on the outside of the craft during launch. We're almost at orbital velocity, still within the atmosphere. And first stage separation, see you later. Let's ignite the Terrier. And That will take us, get our apoapsis up to 110 kilometers. So now, see our electric charge is dropping dramatically. So let's turn the engine off, because we're about where we want to be. Turn off the pressure control and turn off the scrubber. See how much electric charge we can save just by doing that. Need to keep an eye on Mallory's health. Okay, so there's apoapsis. It's not. That is our apoapsis. Get rid of that, get rid of that. That's our apoapsis. 6 minutes away. Burn. Yeah, okay, so we're not in a good state because we actually burned, too much and we've gone too far into orbit. So we're going to burn before apoapsis. There we go, which will give us, there we go. Now let's turn off, use RCS to move us. Okay, so I'm going to turn off SAS. We're just going to hold that, decouple that. Uh, 3 hours. I've got 3 hours of electric charge, so we pretty much have one shot at this, nothing else. That is all, and that's assuming we don't chew through a lot more electric charge. So let's expose the science experiments. Observe. Keep that. Get rid of that and turn that on. Let's observe that, and we'll keep that. It has 2 pairs of tentacles. Turn off the LEDs and turn off Make Jeb. See if save more power. Time just a bit until we get closer to our burn. And you can see that I'm not liking it. I'm really not liking it. Got to put a battery on here. Okay, so SAS on. Let's burn. Just burn at 50%. Second burn. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just throttle down just a touch. Okay, so that's gone too far, so we can use RCS to fix that. Bring it down to 1 kilometer. Okay, so it's a slight inclination difference we're going to have to deal with. Okay, 300 meters, 200 meters. Okay, that'll look. turn off SAS. Now let's time warp around. Yeah, and hopefully everyone keeps their fingers crossed for the electric charge. Okay, so her head feels light. I'm guessing that we need to enable. What have we got going on here? We've got. I'm thinking it's pressure control and scrubber. Would it be pressure control? Feeling light. CO2 poisoning. Okay. That'll be the scrubber, not the pressure control. CO2 poisoning. Okay. Oh, that really chews your electric charge. Dear. 31 minutes. Okay. And I've got 12 minutes to get within range. Ugh. Okay, so she's happy. She's healthy. Okay. So let's keep moving. Of course, I can always. I've got enough fuel. I can just abort, but I don't particularly want to. Yep, Andromeda 1. We don't care about that craft anymore. Honorary Kerbin is unable to breathe properly. What's that because of? CO2 and atmosphere. I thought I had the scrubber on. Just there you go. Turn the pressure control on. Have it all. CO2 poisoning. Ooh, the scrubber's on. And I've only got 19 minutes of. Okay. So let's go retrograde. Wait. Yep. Okay. Great. Understand you might be feeling sick, Mallory, but you're going to be sicker if you run out of electric charge. Where's the target? Still 8 kilometers away, so let's just turn everything off. Moment. CO2 poisoning. Okay. Might have CO2 poisoning, but how much electric do we have? 10 minutes. Well, I think we can make this. Assuming something doesn't go horribly wrong. Let's start burning retrograde and matching our orbits, changing our relative velocity. Okay, so now that'll probably bring us to within, we go 35 seconds, we'll be 0 apart, and we're really chewing through. Really chewing through electric. Words cannot describe how quickly we're going through it. Wow. So we're coming in at 15 meters, 16 meters per second just for this dock, which is much higher than I'd normally be at this point. But CO2 poisoning. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. Gosh. So let's start to slow down a little bit. Okay, so now 2 meters per second. Control from here. Set as target. So let's turn around. Hopefully, this doesn't muck us around. And on fine controls might be helpful. So this is going to be close. This is going to be very close. How am I going? Light-wise, LED status on. What have I got there? Yeah, we might be T part up, T part down. Might have to rotate a little bit. Deal with that. Oh. Come on. Do it. Correctly. I have set that as target. Don't know why that didn't connect. At that point there, I'd really expect them to have started flashing. Really would have expected them to have started flashing set as target. Docking ports are actually fairly annoying control from here. So I need to go back a little bit. Shit. Shit. Start chasing the ruddy station around now. How is she doing? Get 2 poisoning, right? Well, do that press control. Scrubbers on, you'll be fine. I'm about to lose my first Kerbal. All because I can't dock, apparently. Which is quite frustrating, given I've done YouTube videos on docking before. Just doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's try that. that point there, they should be flashing. No, really. Should be flashing. They should really be flashing. Regardless, I honestly think this is a total abort. A retrograde, and let's get this home as quick as possible. Let's turn off the scrubber. Even with poisoning, we will make do. CO2 poisoning, yeah. Okay, so let's jettison let's go to the monopropellant. Don't need that right now. Out. I know. Get rid of that. Turn retrograde and time warp. I don't know if I need electric charge to let parachutes loose. Find out. Oh, this plainly sucks. Oh, helps if we're turned the right way. Yeah, I think we're doing okay. I mean, frustrating as it is, we got some science out of here, so that's not too bad. At least that's something. So able to get Ellery Kerman back barely. Still has CO2 poisoning. How long that lasts? We'll recover the vessel and go from there. So I mean, that's glad no one died, but it's not really how I wanted this mission to go down. Having a lot of trouble with these docking ports. Again, I don't understand why. I might do some more investigation on the ports themselves. There are a number of tweaks you can do to them to increase like the distance that they grab at and things like that. Quite possibly I'll look at that. I'm also really considering getting rid of the docking port alignment nav ball. It's not really helping me, to be honest. So I might look at getting rid of that. But let's have a look at what science we achieved. And yes, there's a good amount of science there, 44 science from that. Mallory Kerman, Research 1, Landing, E-Force 3, Mach 3, Orbit, 10% solid rocket booster. So yeah, that's a good start. So all right, I will do some more investigation on the actual docking ports themselves and see if there's any other tweaks I can make to make them just that little bit easier for me. But we'll look at that in the next episode. My name is Seth. You've been watching Kerbal Space Program. We've been playing ASP Kerbalism. Thank you for watching. Talk to you next time. Bye for now.